Pokemon trivia, the voice of Pikachu is the only voice in the series that was the same in Japan as it was in America. They didn't change the voice because whoever was doing it was so perfect they didn't have to redo it, and all Pikachu ever said was Pikachu. So made it a lot easier.
Tough line.
Pardon?
A really tough line to say.
It is tough, but you know, you have to say it in many different ways. So, you know, and then sometimes you wouldn't say it wouldn't say its whole name, just Pika, or okay. So, yes.
Why is Ash never aged?
Boy, that's come up a lot, hasn't
I
it?
feel like everybody's growth.
These are great philosophical questions that we'll be debating for the next millennium. Personally, I think, I mean, like, you know, you look at famous animated characters through history, and they don't age. You know, it's like you like the look of them. I mean, you go back to the Peanuts characters. They aged, I think, maybe like 2 or 3 years, and then they got stuck. The South Park kids are always, what, 8 years old? Yeah. But it's kind of like looking at a child actor, and then they grow up, and it's like, ooh, they don't make the nice adult. You know, they look better, I like them better when they were cute. So I think that's the great advantage in animation, is you don't have to grow up. And you can pretty much be stuck in time, and I think people like it that way because we're creatures of habit. And you know, I don't know how Ash would be as a grown-up. You know, he'd have to have a whole other series. It'd have to be a whole different thing. Very, very possible. Yes.
What's the story behind you getting your role? How'd you get recruited for it?
For my ball?
Your role, your voice actor.
Ah, my role. Well, I thought, are we talking Pokeballs here? What happened was, a friend of mine was a former actor who was moonlighting doing some voice work, and he knew that I was also a freelance actor looking for opportunities. So he knew this producer that was doing a bunch of new series. So basically, he said, call up this guy, and they'll set up an appointment, you'll go in and they'll hear your voice. So they put my voice on, they recorded it. And I did voices for various different series that they were doing. And I guess about a couple of weeks later, I got a call and said, we want you to do this role. I didn't know who he was, I didn't know what Pokemon was. And we went into the studio and we started recording it. And the first episode we did, they had to play back my audition for me to remember what it was that I did that they liked, because I didn't remember what I did. I just, you know, just came up with something. And it took about the first season for me to sort of get what I was actually doing. They'd always play back, you know, the original thing so I could hear it. And then I caught on, and I also learned, because one of the first video games, they had a Nintendo executive who was in the studio with us. So he's in the control booth, and I'm recording, and I'm putting down some lines, and he interrupted me. And he gets on the mic. He goes, no. And I said, what? He says, more oki. And he didn't speak very much English, but I was listening to the way he said that, and then it clicked that he wanted me to do that kind of cracky thing in my voice, which I was doing unconsciously, and then I got more aware of it, and then I became like the trademark of Oak. So, and it wasn't until about the show was running for more than a season that I realized that it was not just the average job, but it was really something kind of amazing and special. And then it's like, wow, how did that happen? You know, just because no one expects the thing to be that popular or that big, and it just did. So I said, oh boy, okay, you in the back.
What about Gary's parents?
You know, we've been looking for them and looking for them, and I don't know where they are. Do you know? That's something I can't answer.
As you were like recording your show, like, you must have like saw the episodes as they came out
Mm-hmm.
later. Did you ever like stop and think and be like, this would be awesome, like if Ash somehow like captured this Pokemon, like it'd be so cool if it was like on his team, like, just because.
From my perspective, because you know when you started, we were learning it as we did the episode, so we didn't understand the difference between Pokemons. That sort of evolved as we were going on, because you know, from the whole Japanese perspective, it was a full series. From us, we were starting from scratch, so they had more information, and I just knew that they had special powers. So you know, I treated them all with the same kind of care and love. So yeah.
How many different versions, how many different voices did you go through before settling on what Professor Oak sounds like?
I think from the beginning, I stumbled upon something, but like I said, when they heard it, they knew the quality, and then they kept reminding me of what quality that was until it became second nature to me. And now, you know, now I can slip into it in a split second, whereas before I wasn't really aware of what I was doing. So it was kind of like you were learning on the job. And I don't know if you ever watch. Like a good example is TV shows. If you watch the first series, first season of a TV show, not everything is really solid yet. But then you go back the next season, certain characteristics of people's performance get really solidified. It's like they find those qualities, and then it gets better. So a lot of I think that's true of our work too, because you're just meeting these characters, you're doing them, but you're just being introduced to them. So yeah, so I think you weed through some of the weird choices, and then you distill it and find something that really works, and then you hang on to it. Yes.
Were you an anime or cartoon fan before you began voice acting?
From my perspective, anime was really just starting out, so my awareness of it was very minimal when I started doing the work on the show. And then it was like after that, it was like all over the place. So we went from like 0 to 60 with our own sense of it. Yes.
What sort of jobs or gigs did you have before and after Pokemon?
Well, I also do a lot of Hey. I do theater. I do musical theater and non-musical theater. I do television. I do on-camera commercials. So I've been sort of in all different phases of the business, and I had done voiceovers for commercials and things. So Pokemon was the first real.
What were some of your like bigger moments that you said?
In my career? One of my favorite jobs of all was, I don't know if you know the musical Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, yeah.
So the original show was off-Broadway at a theater on 2nd Avenue called the Orpheum Theater. And that was, I was the last person to star in it as Seymour in the original run of the show. The show ran for 5.5 years, and I did the last leg of it, and that still sticks out as one of the great moments of my life, was because I love doing that show, and it's kind of like a living cartoon anyway, and the music is great, and so that was a big one for me, and I've done 4 Broadway shows, and I'm going to start my 5th one, Newsies, which is the Disney musical that's coming to Broadway, starts performing in March, so I'll be in that company. And what can I say? Well, I like whatever I'm involved with at the moment. So, you know. Yes?
If you do a lot of Broadway, can you sing for us?
Can I sing for you? I don't know. What do you want to hear?
Suddenly
Some people will.
I could, a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. You know the song Grow For Me?
Yes, yes.
These mics are terrible, though, I have to say. It's really distorted. Can you hear me okay, everyone? Yeah.
Project.
To get the right, I don't know what key it is. I've given you sunshine, I've given you dirt, you've given me nothing but heartache and hurt. I'm begging you sweetly, I'm down on my knees. Oh, please grow for me. I've given you plant food and water to sip. I've given you potash, you've given me zip. Oh God, how I missed you. Oh God, how you tease. Now please grow for me. I haven't done that in a while, but those songs stick to you, you know. But yes.
Now, how about I'm giving Santa Claus Jr.
I need Ash and I need the background thing. But.
No, it's good.
No, the funny thing is, last week I came across the CD and I played it. I hadn't heard it, and since we recorded it, so it was, I'm giving Santa a Pikachu for Christmas. It's a really silly song. Isn't it?
It's our underbelly Christmas music.
Is it? It's good. It's I wish it was still available. They made it sound like it was going to be like a big hit in Kmart and stuff all over the place. So
Get it on iTunes now.
can you?
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, I'm making a lot of money on that one. Yes.
Have you ever hurt yourself doing the voice?
That's an interesting question. I think what happens if you do a long stretch of it, your voice can just get tired. Like just like doing eight performances a week of a show. By the end of the week, my voice is very tired. It's tired now because it's a long day and I've been talking to lots of people. But I don't think I ever heard it. You know, the only way you really would do that if you're using your voice badly. You know, and people have been known to give themselves nodes by straining too much. So I don't think this would qualify that. But yeah, yes.
Between the three starters, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander, which one would you say is your favorite of the three?
Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander. I don't know. Squirtle's awfully cute. I don't know. I go for the cute one, so I don't know. But you may have a totally different one. But I think Squirtle's kind of nice. He's different. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
It says here that you're credited as Stan Hart in the original series. I mean, obviously, who here watches the credits? But so, what's the story behind that?
Originally, a number of the actors used pseudonyms, and I sort of thought that was kind of cool to do because I also didn't really know what this was and where it was going to go. So I picked the name because Stan Hart was one of the staff writers of Mad Magazine. And I thought that what a cool name. And when I used to do like market research, I do telephone sales and stuff. And it was easier for me to say, hi, this is Stan Hart calling, than hi, this is Stuart Zagnit. And they go, who? And so Stan Hart was an easy sounding name to use, and I just thought I'd use it for a while. And then, after a few years, I thought, well, why shouldn't I use my own name, you know? So I dropped Stan Hart, and I just went back to me.
Is Stan Hart in any of your other works?
Only in the some of the early ones I did for the same company. And after I changed it back to my name, I didn't go back to Stan Hart. I've retired Stan Hart, but we're still the same person. Yes.
Do you have your action figure?
I don't have my action figure. In fact, I talked to some people around, and they, so somebody was showing me action figures that they have, but he never got the one of Ash, the one that's about, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches tall, and I want that action figure. So the only one I have is about this big, and it's like Nurse Jenny, and there's like Nurse Joy and Oak, and then one other character, and they're like so teeny, and they're not in proper proportion. So if anybody hears of an action figure, I would love to have one. So yes.
I know Professor Oak with Tracy, right? I know he's with Tracy, right?
In what sense?
You know, series, right?
Oh. I mean, are they an item? Is that what you're saying?
I think he's got someone who knows their collab.
Yeah.
What?
Tracy sketch of the person.
Oh, I don't know what Tracy does. I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah. I don't know either at all.
Huh?
I don't know either.
Okay. That makes 2 of us. Yes.
So I kind of went to Montclair and that's where I'm going now. But when did your career actually, do you think your acting career really took off? Was I'm sure you took advantage of theater there.
I think it started to take off in the mid 80s, and then by the time I did Little Shop, which was in 87, I felt pretty good. But theater and careers go up and down, and then I got to do some national tours and some shows, which was great. But it's been a kind of a steady build over the years, and I feel like it just keeps getting better. So, and I have to say it's very gratifying to be here today and see so many of you that have enjoyed Professor Oak and the series, and it really does my heart good to know that it's had a certain impact on everybody. So I thank you for all of your, continued support over the years. Even the people that are walking out. And it was dinner time, right? Everybody wants to go have dinner. Aren't they bringing burgers in for everybody? I guess not.
Oh, no burger.
Oh, I wasn't really serious, but. Oh yes, over here.
Me? Okay. I was just wondering, do you happen to have a particular favorite line from the show in its whole series run?
There was one episode where was it Snorlax kept falling asleep on me, and it was just funny how panicked he was as this creature was like falling on him, and I like Oak when he got slightly unhinged, when things sort of went awry, and then there was like weird lines. Like there was one movie line at the end. My last line was, "Ooh, my lumbago," and that just cracked me up because it was such a weird, odd thing for him to have an ailment. So, I like those things. I like the things when they were slightly off. Yes.
What was your favorite Pokemon movie?
I think the third one. I just think he had a lot to do. There was a lot of intrigue, and he had some nice serious scenes in midst of all the silly stuff. So, do Do people like that movie, or? Oh, great. Wow. Pick the winner, yes.
Did you do the voice for the young area, for the young oak? For Sammy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When he,
The one with the celebi.
I must have. I must have. It's like I'm having a brain lapse there. I don't know. I guess I did. Because I don't think they used anybody else. Huh. Does it sound like me? I could do a younger version of myself, sure. Yes.
So what do you think of the, not to sell animosity here, what do you think of the new oak? It's okay, you can be honest, you can be honest.
This is going to sound like I'm not telling the truth, but whenever the few times that, see, I have a 15-year-old son, and when we turn on the new series, there was never a moment when they were doing an oak scene, so I have never heard it. I swear to God, I have never heard it, and I think I'd just rather not at this point, you know, because it's, as you know, I'm very attached to Oak. He's been a part of me. He is a part of me. So I don't really want to hear somebody else doing it, but you know, it was taken out of our hands. So you know, yes.
In scenes where Professor Oak would be, let's say, being Snorlax falling over on him or Grimer attacking him. But did you medevac for that, or were you just told to go kind of like, ah?
I mean, you have to imagine we're in a little room. Yeah. Sometimes just like a booth. So there's very little movement, and you want to always stay on mic. So I think it's a lot of that, standing in front and going, ah, you know, and I mean, I think I'm maybe a little more physical in the studio than some actors, and I'll try to approximate the effort that goes on within you know, the confines of what I do. It's a test of your imagination to